Hello and welcome to E14 presents the GameCast. Woo! Woo! The GameCast.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to think of a theme tune for this.
I don't think we need one.
No.
Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Bleep. Bleep, bleep, bleep.
Fine, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm your host Rob Wade. With me is Blake Harmer.
Hello.
Hello. So this is just a kind of informal, off-the-cuff GameCast where we'll just talk in vagaries, maybe a bit more specific about some of the stuff we've been playing this year and the stuff we really like and the stuff we thought sucked. So yeah, we'll start doing that in a minute.
Yeah.
Why don't you start us off with the first thing on your list? So basically, for a bit of context, me and Blake both keep a list of stuff we've completed in the year that we're currently in. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a game that's come out this year, but it can be one that you're playing this year and finished this year. So like, for instance, my favourite game that I played last year was Far Cry 3, even though it came out the year before.
Yeah, my favourite, although it was a game that came out last year, well, as I was talking to you earlier about, obviously off the air, was a toss between either Bioshock Infinite or the Last of Us.
Both of which would be on my top as well. So
yeah, they were fantastic games, but obviously very difficult for me to call as my absolute favourite.
Big time.
Although if I had to say, like, now you mentioned Far Cry 3, if I was to mention my favourite downloadable content of a game, pretty much ever, actually, more I think about it, would be Blood Dragon.
Basically, the question asked is, what's your favourite bit of DLC ever, and why is it Blood Dragon?
Why isn't it Blood Dragon?
If the answer is no, why isn't it Blood Dragon? But I think we've already talked about doing a big arcade cast at some point, so that's going to come at some point when I've had a chance to actually do a bit of research and come up with a list of stuff that came out last gen. Because we obviously did the big blowout best of the generation on box retail, but it occurred to me that we already went for an hour and a half about that. It was probably best to separate it out into two shows. So we'll do that at some point. So look for that in the future, because this is going to be like episode 5 probably. This is going to follow the year again one.
Obviously, this is up until this point. Obviously, I know there's still a couple of months.
Yeah, so we're recording in mid-October, just to give you some context.
So, obviously, I know there's some big releases obviously coming up, like obviously Far Cry 4, which we mentioned last episode.
Assassin's Creed Unity,
stuff like that. And obviously, some of these games may end up being, for me, played after Christmas or in the early parts of the new year. But at this present. It's hard to say my absolute favourite game, but I could name a few games that I've loved.
Name a few
ones I've truly ones I did fall in love with, despite its simplicity. But if you're really criticising the game for the actual gameplay mechanics, you're not really getting the point. Would be South Park: The Stick of Truth. I loved pretty much. It's one of the few games that's made me laugh my tits off. On a regular thing, I think it's out in Portal 2. One of the two games that made me consistently laugh my tits off.
We've enthused about Stick of Truth on previous Gamecasts, and I totally concur. I think it's a brilliant game. And I would say the gameplay mechanics are simple enough to get you involved.
Oh yeah, they're not broken as such. They're just simplistic. There's nothing. Yeah. It's not really that. But I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say there was anything amazing about the game. If you were to play it, if they made that game. And it didn't have it wasn't anything to do with South Park, and it was just its own original venture, I probably wouldn't rate it very high.
Yeah.
But as it was to tell a story based in South Park and to carry the stupidity that is South Park, and also to have such a brilliantly well told story, and obviously all the characters and the side bits, it does it perfectly.
They get the style right. Ultimately, that's what it kicks.
Yes, I think they a lot of people were saying before the game came out that. Obviously, previous South Park games were obviously just clones with a South Park skin, and it was always a bit pants.
Yeah. What was the one on N64?
It was some first-person shooter thing.
Love Shack or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's meant to be dire.
It was the multiplayer was fun.
Yeah.
I swear that's about it, really.
Wasn't there like a first-person shooter where you're like throwing snowballs or something?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
And you could fire yellow snowballs if you peed on them.
Yeah.
I think it was called something like Chef's Love Shack or something like that.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, I've heard very, very predominantly negative things about a lot of the South Park games. But this one being purely based and written by Matt and Trey Park and Matt Stone, sorry, and being built from the ground up with this in mind, with the story in mind, and I think that's why it's possibly one of my favourite games so far this year.
Yeah, on a similar vein, actually, in terms of stuff I finished this year, which funny games, I'd have to give an honourable mention to Deadpool. So I got that for my birthday.
Oh, I haven't actually played that.
It's really, really funny. Like as a game goes, it's pretty much a poor man's Devil May Cry in terms of it's gunplay and sword mechanics, but there's not really anything it does that's supremely better than Devil May Cry or Bayonetta or something like that. But in terms of humour, it's so funny. Like, it's really, really good. It was I played through it from start to finish the game. Didn't 100% it or anything like that, but I finished the story part, and I enjoyed it. Even though it was kind of limited in terms of gameplay, I enjoyed the actual experience, and I would, one of those things. If I didn't have a lot of games to go through, I'd probably go back and pick it up and play it again.
Yeah.
But it was a good game. I would say maybe not one of my favourites of the year, but it's a good game.
Yeah. South Park. Well, I think what I found looking through my list, it's been a fairly quiet year for releases, and I think a lot of people would be inclined to agree that there's games coming out for the year aside from humongous launches like Titanfall and Destiny, which are predominantly multiplayer games, really, rather. And whilst I do like playing them, I normally love more single player experiences with a storyline and a plot. They're the ones that tend to stick in my head and normally get Game of the Year.
It's nice not to have to rely on friends being online to play something.
Yeah.
Like Destiny, you can play single player for a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, what I've been doing is I've been playing it single player, and people have been jumping in, playing with me every now and then, or even if it's people I don't know. Just sometimes it's nice to do public events with people you don't know,
or just a strike or something,
or strike with other people you don't know, and
I'd say Destiny probably would be another one of our honourable mentions. Actually, I would say it would be very difficult for me to say I don't like the game, bearing in mind I've sunk so much time into it.
I'm worried because I'm enjoying it, but I'm worried it's going to become repetitive at some point.
It does a decent enough job of keeping it relatively fresh, but there are times where I'm just like, okay, I need to do that again. Okay.
Yeah, because I get the feel like, I haven't finished even the storyline campaign. I'm near the end, but I haven't quite finished it yet.
Yeah, you said you're on Mars, right?
Yeah, so hence why it's not made it onto my list.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, I think I will struggle to keep. I think once I've played a few raids, I think I'm not a big grinder of games. I'm not one of these people that like revisiting the same area and over again and killing the same monsters over and over again. And I know it scales and gets more tougher, but at the same time,
I think that comes down to that. The reason I've persevered with that, because I'm not usually that kind of gamer either, is because my friends. I think we talked about it in the previous thing. My friends' interest in Destiny has bucked the trend of how interested they usually are in a game. Yeah.
But apart from that, yes, it's a very strong game. It plays very well. Agree. Okay, if I were to draw a comparison, it is like if you took Halo and Borderlands and hit it with a hammer.
Yeah,
but
smashed it together and made it fit.
Yeah, and I mean it's basically Borderlands with Halo's gunplay, and it plays bloody well. But
it's a very, very slick game.
Yeah,
and it's very nice looking as well.
Incredibly.
Not just in terms of you can bang on about 1080p and all that shit, but the style is very cool.
Oh, I thought it was incredibly pretty. Just even when you're not necessarily doing a mission, but you're doing one of the patrol missions, for example, where you're just choosing missions as and when. You can have a look at just even looking around the surroundings and stuff off in the distance, like on the moon and stuff like that. It's a really, really pretty work that they've done.
Absolutely, style-wise, it's
and phenomenal. The design is very nice. Yeah,
I remember there was a book that came out on the App Store because it's like a digital enhanced.
It's like the art of the game.
There's one called The Final Hours of Titanfall, and there's one about Mass Effect 3. I suspect that if they were to release one called The Final Hours of Destiny, I would be all over that shit because. The digital book for Titanfall, I got it for free, or cheap. I can't remember which one, but it's a really good book. It's a really interesting book.
Yeah, that's got some.
The interactive elements are really cool, and it had some artwork and stuff in it. So if they release one for Destiny, I'll be fucking sold. So Jeff Keighley, if you're listening, get on that shit.
Yeah, going on to Titanfall, I did like the game. I think it's got a good, fast, frenetic playing. It's not a game I jump into a lot, but then again, I'm not a big multiplayer gamer, as I've mentioned numerous times. Yeah. But I enjoy it for the fun I have with it, and there's nothing more satisfying than calling a Titan down and jumping in it and causing havoc with it.
There is something slightly more satisfying, which I haven't managed to do in the game. I managed to do it in the beta, which is calling down a Titan on top of another Titan.
Oh, I haven't. Yeah, no, I've seen it. I've seen videos of it being done, but I've not actually been able to do it.
I did it in the beta. I didn't successfully do it in the game.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I hadn't really got familiar with the whole Xbox record that stuff.
No.
So,
well, I mean, I'm playing on PC because I don't have an Xbox One, but
I'm not so familiar with the DVR. I wasn't so familiar with the DVR stuff as I am now.
Yeah.
Now, like, there's loads of clips of me on Destiny doing really good throwing knife kills and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And I've got some. I can probably show you after we finish recording, actually. But there's some really good ones that I really just think are really they look really cool. So I've just kept them because they look awesome.
And I mean, I've been impressed with some of it. Yeah, some of it. The thing is, I always try to record. I record the odd thing on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I don't find myself rewatching it and all that because I'm like. Sometimes I'll show people when they come over and go, oh, I did this, by the way.
Yeah.
But I must admit, it's only when something really, really hilarious happens or really, really cool happens that I go, oh, yeah, definitely then.
Yeah.
But
I do the same.
I must admit, I haven't really recorded any of Destiny. But even though some cool things happen, that's just not...
Don't think to do it.
Yeah.
Usually you're invested in a fight or something. So
I'm too busy going, oh, that was cool. Oh, shit, I'm getting shot.
But that's why I
think the other problem is to upload something. Obviously, you press the button to get it to record. It's quite simply done.
Yeah.
But the problem with Destiny is that it doesn't pause because it's online.
Sure. Well, I think that's the thing. Is like that's one of the reasons I think the Xbox One has a really good feature set because I can just use the Kinect and I just go Xbox record that and it will record 30-second clip. I can go into it after I finish playing the game and just trim it up.
Oh yeah, I can do that with the thing. That's not such a problem. But obviously, when it's finished, it will then bring up the menu. And I thought, well, in that 10 seconds that it's brought up the menu, after you press the button, I probably could have been killed by
Whereas with the Xbox One,
about 10 cabal could have shat on my head.
Yeah.
But
whereas with the Xbox One, you just say Xbox record that. It goes away in the background, does its little thing, and then it just pops up with one of those little notifications, like an achievement thing that just says game clip recorded. Later on, you can go.
It's a bit myself.
You can go in and just tweak it when you're finished, which is like I say, that's one of the reasons I like the latest gen. Just because it's really easy to do that stuff.
Oh yeah, no, they're both very well designed consoles around social and accessibility.
Yeah, very much so.
And Destiny is a perfect game for that because it has that whole interconnectivity with people. And
plus, look at the cool thing I just did.
It does have that. Yeah, even though from a gameplay level, obviously there's nothing. With games, nothing is ever going to be amazingly groundbreaking anymore.
No, true.
Unless someone divides the whole new genre,
especially with FPS, like what can you really?
Yeah. But I would say Destiny has felt like one of the first true next gen games.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I would argue.
Yeah.
So it does definitely deserve special mention. For that,
absolutely.
Titanfall's good fun, but at the end of the day, it's still a massively multiplayer shooter. It's not.
Sure.
It doesn't really, apart from the addition of mechs, which there's vehicles in games. It's not really.
Titanfall's a game I can jump into every now and then, have a quick blast, and be like, "That was fun."
The best thing about Titanfall are the length of the matches, which is very short. So if I've got a spare 20 minutes before I need to do something, I can jump on Titanfall, do 2 games.
And you're good.
And then and go, I've got to pop out now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because each game is about 10 minutes long and, piece of it.
It's one of the reasons, in a way, that I wish I had a digital copy of Titanfall, because when I set the Xbox off with Destiny, I can just go straight in, it's a digital copy, load it up, and just play. Titanfall, it's a disc, so I have to go and find the disc, put it in, load it up, blah, blah, blah. Might be an update, in which case I've got to do that too.
Yeah. Luckily, because I have the PC version, that's on Origin, and that's the digital version I have of it, so it's quite easy to just jump into. Yeah, it does need to update a lot, but I think that's because of constant updates.
There's a lot of tweaking and stuff and rebalancing and things.
Yeah. That's the nature of the beast, unfortunately.
Yeah, but let's say again, like Titanfall was good. I enjoyed what I played of it. When I was really into it, I played a lot, and I've had a load of fun. A lot of my friends have had a good fun playing with them. Of the 2 games, Destiny to me is superior by far.
Oh.
But that's not to say that Titanfall's bad, in my opinion. I think Titanfall's a perfectly good game.
No.
So what else have I played? Let me think. So I played Deadpool, I like that a lot. Titanfall, Destiny, Wolfenstein.
I love Wolfenstein.
I haven't finished it, but what I've played of it, I've just... Oh, God, it's so good.
Yeah. It does do nothing new. It just feels very old school.
Yeah.
But it does it old school enough, it keeps it fresh enough that it's fun.
Little things about Wolfenstein I really like. I think that it sounds really obvious, but things like being able to poke out your head out from behind cover. And
the leaning out
it's
combat.
Really, I love games that do that. And
I was amazed that there were few more first-person shooters don't.
Yeah, seriously.
Because I was like, really? All I have to do is hold this button, I can peek around the corner? Why? Because normally you play a game on a PC, they normally put in fairly good leaning.
But that's because you've got about 40 different keys you can manage.
Yeah, and you can also change it to how it suits you anyway, you know. But Wolfenstein, it was the pads, they never really got it right ever. Yeah. It felt like a lot of time, unless they auto did it for you, like Call of Duty or Battlefield does it automatically for you. Wolfenstein does it so brilliantly that you just hold down a button and then use the right stick to peek around the corner. Yeah. And or left stick, sorry, I think it is, or whatever. But and it just works so bloody well. I thought it was very good.
So in terms of other stuff I've played this year that I've really liked, this is also things that I haven't necessarily finished the storyline of. There's a really cool indie game on PC called Papers, Please.
Oh yes, I've played a bit of that recently.
It's good, but it's harrowing because it's really hard. Hard.
I only played a few days of it, and I just went, "Is this some sort of black comedy?"
It's basically that's it. Yeah, it's really sad.
It was the fact I was going like. It's when I was like I was being slow at it. Apparently, to be good at it, you have to play it a few times.
Yes, you do.
Because it's getting your head around the different types of passport. And that. But I mean, I've only had a little go of it. But it was when it was like. You're sort of splitting the money between who gets fed that day or who gets heating. Or,
exactly. Like they're all
or medicine or so like for your family. It was that. It was just a plain bit of text saying where do you want to put your money because you can't afford to feed your family even though you worked solidly.
Yeah, exactly. You just worked hard all day and then because they decide they want to take 20 off you for no apparent reason whatsoever. Because it gets harder and harder to manage.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it just gets more and more depressing as it goes on.
If you go over a week, it just gets ridiculously difficult because they've got these every day they've got new entry conditions and stuff. And that's the point.
I only played that 3 or 4 days. I did like the guy who disappears in one, like the second day, I think it is. He turns up, gives you an obviously fake, and then the second day he comes back and it's obviously fake. And I assume he comes back more, but I did like that. And
so what else have I played? So, Prison Architect's good fun.
Yes.
It needs that. I almost when we were at Eurogame, I almost got overheard by the people demoing the game, loudly complaining about the fact that game needs a proper tutorial, something fucking fierce.
Oh, people who own the game were telling people.
No, like there were people demoing the game to others, and I was complaining about it, and I was worried that if I'd complained that little bit louder, they'd have probably heard me. I was basically saying that's a game that needs a proper fucking tutorial that there's no tomorrow. It's just not. It's not. It doesn't teach you.
It's a nice tutorial in the sense it tells the story and it shows you how to build a room, but
it doesn't tell you how to start.
No, the actual game is really difficult. And
it's so far removed,
and it doesn't really
explain
any of that. For like building it from scratch. You know, I've played it a couple of times and watched Kat play it a few times, and she's basically been watching YouTube videos and numerous wikis and stuff like that just to get her head around and get the game going without it ending up in a big riot.
And a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that for things like Dwarf Fortress as well, right? So
I've not played
Dwarf Fortress, Minecraft, Prison Architecture, all these kind of games where it really helps to look at the wikis. I shouldn't fucking have to.
No,
with Minecraft, it's at least intuitive enough that I can understand. Oh, okay, I mined this, but I didn't have a good tool. So
Minecraft gets away with it by having such a big community and also not being that complex a game. Really, it is just the people who started it. You know, a lot of people. It's now common knowledge. A lot of gamers who play it, and also. In the console versions of Minecraft, they actually do have a proper tutorial and explain how everything's done and what things you need to build things is all in there. But obviously on the PC, it is you go in there blind and you've got to work out how to make things. But you wouldn't even know how to make a pickaxe if you didn't play around with it enough to work it out.
But it's at least intuitive enough that once you see it, it makes sense.
Oh, yeah. You're just making the shape of the implement. But,
so what else? I really liked Gunpoint on PC.
Yes, that was good. I played it, as I said, I've not finished it. But
I finished it, and it's really good. It's very simple, but
it had a nice humour to it, I thought.
Easy to learn, complex to
master. Yeah, I found it was. I did some of the levels took me a couple of goes to get.
Yeah, exactly. Same. Had to rewind a few times because I kept getting shot in the face and things like that. Standard, standard. What else?
Sorry, on your recommendation from an episode of The Crazy Train, I did Binary Domain.
What do you think?
I really, really liked it.
It's fun, isn't it?
Again, it's. I can think of third-person adventures that are better, but
Gears of War.
Yeah, but and so I could think of loads of games that does what that does and does it better.
Yeah,
but as a fun arcade, if it was a movie, it would be a stupid 80s action flick. Like, it's definitely, as games go, it's a B movie, a B game, B-rated game. It was never going to be AAA.
No,
but it's fun enough, and you can pick it up. I picked it up dirt cheap in a Humble Bundle. Mm-hmm. You can probably pick it up dirt cheap on Steam.
Oh yeah,
or even on console now. But I recommend it to anyone who hasn't played it because it's one of those overlooked games. I think because it got middling reviews and not many people knew about it.
No,
I think it's the problem with it. But I actually enjoyed it for what it was, and it was fun.
Yeah, I will say to their credit. So we have a couple of friends of mine run a gaming blog called Arcadian Rhythms. So guys called Sean and Dylan, if they're listening, hello. They recommended Binary Domain through their website very highly to me, and when I said, I can't believe I've never heard of this game, they went, well, it's not because we didn't tell you about it. So they had the foresight to recognise it was a brilliant game and to recommend it as such, and I enjoyed it a lot when I played it. I played it last year though.
I remember I found out about people playing it. I remember my magazine talking about it when it came out. And it gave it a respectable review. They said it was I think they gave it like a 7 out of 10, which I think is fair. Good game. Yeah. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
But I think because it got that and because it didn't really get a lot of media attention.
No, really didn't.
And I find that's what kills a lot of games.
Hype is a double-edged sword. It can work really well, it can destroy a game.
It's an alright game, but because it didn't have enough media coverage behind it, or whatever, I think that's what the difference stopped it selling so well.
Yeah. It's become very cult almost.
I know I beat it a few years ago because I got it when it came out because I actually played the demo, liked it, and then bought the game and loved it.
Yeah.
Enslaved.
Yes. I played that this year.
Yeah,
actually.
It's an amazing game.
It's brilliant. Yeah. I really like that.
And it even has an actual, it was one of the few games I went, holy shit, the ending's good. The storyline that's
See, I was actually of the opposite feeling regarding the ending, but everything about the game up until that point was brilliant. So
it's a bit of a ending, but it's I thought it was clever enough, especially in the medium of games, to warrant it to be. I thought it was.
I played it this year and I really liked it. Yeah. It's also a game that,
and also it explains why everything is why it is.
Yeah. Also, my girlfriend was really into watching me play as well.
Kat loved it. But Kat loves watching me play games quite a lot.
She kept calling it the Monkey game though because his name's Monkey.
Yeah. That didn't help, and also the fact he had an extending pole, and
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, it did feel like monkey magic, but
especially as her name was Tripitaka as well.
Yeah.
Come on. So what else is in your list? Because I have one that, if you want to search it up, I've got one to mention. So I'll mention
one of the ones. Another one which was overlooked.
Yeah,
which I think leads on quite well is Remember Me.
Remember Me is excellent. Remember Me is fucking superb.
I love the storyline and the gameplay of it.
Yeah.
If I had one gripe of it, it would be the combat's a bit samey.
I thought the combat was fine in the sense that it wasn't the primary reason to play the game.
Oh no, but it's a large part of the game.
It is, yeah.
It's not. It is. And I also felt that a lot of the upgrades were unnecessary.
Yeah,
I did. I actually completed the game with the first combos. I did it, and I just I was able to. I didn't really change any of the buttons. I know some of them were different types of kick and different types of punch and that you unlock. But I played through the whole game because it worked, and I thought, well, if my combos work, why am I going to
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, but I love the memory puzzle bits, like changing people's.
That was great. That's really so clever.
There's some really good ideas in that game, and it's a shame again that it got overlooked. I mean, I got it given to me through PlayStation Plus, and I only played it recently. got
now
around to
I'm
playing
thinking about it. It makes me want to go back and play it again.
Yeah.
I've
If you've not played it and you see it cheap and you know,
or if you've got it on Plus and it's just sat in your thing, download it.
And you've got or you like third-person action games.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even though maybe bits are brilliant, they're not the main part of the game.
No, it's just a really nice.
It's got a nice, like the climbing sections remind me a lot of Tomb Raider and Uncharted.
I'd say they're a little bit more intuitive than both, actually. Just from the fact that you could see it, kind of, it used to flag
you can
up
see where you got to go.
It was kind of
clearer
cool.
than that, but it was still that sort of
that mechanic,
jumping at the right moment,
yeah.
climbing, jumping, climbing trees.
So one that I played this year, which I thought was fucking superb again, The Wolf Among Us.
Oh, I haven't played that. I've heard good things, really good things about it.
So good.
Because I mean, I played. I'm really crap with those games. I haven't even finished the first series of Walking Dead.
Me neither. We're in the same episode, I think.
I think I finished the third episode, and I think, like I was saying with Kat watching it, she found that episode 10.
It hit me so hard in the face.
Kat was like, can we have a break? But sadly, that break has now gone on for over a year. So I should go back and do it. I mean, I remember it enough to go and finish it. There's nothing, and I've even said to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we should do that, but we just not got around to it."
I think I want to play the second series because I've heard it's brilliant, and I know.
Again, it's probably. I think I've heard it's just as harrowing, but
if not worse. Yeah. I've seen the first series be played out because my sister was playing a lot. So I've seen the ending of the first series.
I don't know the ending of the series, but I've seen enough screenshots and obviously bits of the second series
to figure it out,
and can guess what sort of happens. I think or enough to know who's alive and who's not, but
which is what happens.
Yeah.
So what else have I been playing? I'm trying to think what else I've been playing in general. Really, I've had, like, in terms of games on my Xbox One, because obviously I bought that this year. I bought one. I got one through Games with Gold. Which turned out to be really good. It's called Max and the Curse of Brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
it's a platform game, but it's also got some puzzle elements because you can manipulate, you can draw things. You can draw like vines to swing from and platforms to jump on, and you can manipulate the flow of water to make you catapult physics-wise into. It's really cool. It just
I think a game's a bit like it, but
it's a really good game. As far as giving away free games on Xbox One goes, it's a brilliant one to start with.
Yep. That actually, one that was a pleasant surprise because I didn't think I was going to like it.
Right.
Strider.
Okay.
Was free on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Played through it. Yeah, it's a very old school 2D platform, like the old Strider games, obviously, unsurprisingly enough.
Shocking.
But funnily enough.
Yeah.
But whilst I was playing, I was going, this is alright. I persevered to the end, and by the end of it, I was going, this is actually pretty good. So I recommend that one if you haven't played it. If you like arcade platformers, but obviously with a bit of a old school difficulty to it as well. Not contra difficult, but it's.
It means buying a PS4 for me for now, but
can't you get that on Xbox then?
You can, but it's obviously not free.
Yeah, well,
but it's like if I could, obviously it came down in the price.
Have you been keeping all the library of the PS Plus games?
I've been downloading. I've been buying all the stuff I can on PS4. When for example, if I was on holiday and it came up, I would have missed it. But but if it's been on and I've seen it and gone, I might fancy playing that. Like I've got, when I get my PS4, I'll have like Contrast, Resogun. Don't Starve, I think. Yeah. Stick It to the Man, maybe something like that.
Stick It to the Man was a brilliant game.
Yeah.
It's a platformer game. Point and click. It's like a puzzle game, really, but it's a simple puzzle game. But in the sense that it's point and click. But it has such enough character in it and tells a funny sort of light-hearted story, and the humour is really, really good, and it's worth it just on that. Pretty much, and apparently, I only found out after I completed it that the person who wrote the story and the screenplay or whatever it is for Stick It to the Man actually does Adventure Time.
Oh, okay.
So, which does explain a bit of the some of the quirkier elements of the humour. But I thought the humour was good, and it's definitely worth picking up.
Cool. Okay.
If I can move on to a game I hated...
Go for it. We'll come back. We can bounce back now between stuff we like and stuff
again,
we don't.
just while it's in my head because it was
Sure.
also another Lightstick and Man. It was another PlayStation Plus freebie. Doki Doki Universe.
Okay. What did you hate about it? See, because I've seen this game that you're talking about. I think you could get it on PS3, wasn't it?
Yes, I think it's on a lot of platforms.
It looks very cutesy and cartoony. I don't see how it's possible to hate something that looks like that. So I want to know why.
It's too cute. Does that make sense?
It's Ni no Kuni cute. Except
it's
without,
different.
Except
it's
without
different
Sonic
enough.
Game.
It's different enough. But,
okay. What's the premise?
The premise is your robot who, unknowingly, I'm not giving away the plot, is sort of abandoned on a rock for years and years and years.
Okay.
Where he doesn't realise that he just left there. The girl like sort of abandoned there, crying, and she leaves, and then an alien swings by, finds him on the
just
rock.
like, I remember that.
Yeah, how long have you been there? Like, I've been there for like 3,000 so many days or whatever. Like, ages. But he's going to get basically the alien's a construction worker and is going to actually decommission the robot, unless it can prove its humanity.
Okay.
And basically the robot going from planet to planet, and the idea is like a sort of simple puzzle game sort of thing to learn your humanity. Yeah. But the thing that's so annoying is that it's all speech bubbles.
Yeah. The
sound effects are fucking irritating as hell because it's and all the puzzles based down to three things. It's either using a sticker of something that the person wants in creating it.
Right. Like Little Big Planet.
Little bit, but yeah, you're actually going. You pick up stickers like you would in Little Big Planet, but you can summon them at will. So, like, say someone wants something like a lion. If you have a sticker of a lion, you use that. For example, there's the simplest level. Yeah. You do get lots of different things, like similar lines and similar things that you can use. And I think the idea is based about using what you want.
Yeah.
And then all the other thing is you get stickers from either making people really happy or pissing them off that they give you something.
Right, okay.
And by giving things that they hate, and you learn what they love and what they hate through interaction, basically.
I see.
And it just gets repetitive as hell. I mean, I persevered throughout the ending, but to be honest, if it weren't for the fact I persevered to the ending just to see what the end of the story was, which wasn't even worth that much of a hassle, I think I should have gave up like a couple of hours in.
Yeah.
I only persevered because I thought, well, because me, normally I'll play a game and I'll normally stick it out. It has to be, but in hindsight, I really wish I hadn't bothered.
Fair enough.
In hindsight.
So, one on that note for me, where I stuck with it and could have done without it. Do you ever play Inversion?
Don't think
so. It's like a third-person Mass Effect Gears of War style mechanic, cover-based shooter, except you could control gravity.
Oh, I've heard about it. I don't think I've played it.
You could either create a high grav where everybody would float and you could shoot people and
I think
push yourself and things like that.
I played a demo of it, I think. I can't remember.
Or you could do low grav and everybody dropped to the floor and you could run up and shoot them in the face.
So basically you do a grav and you run up and shoot them in the face.
A lot of the time that's all you need to do. Yes. Or rather one of the ways in which you can approach it. Yeah. So I played through most of it. And I was really determined to get to the end because at this point it was when I was in the process of saving up for my Xbox One using trade-ins. So I was like, well, it seems like I'm really near the end, so I might as well persevere with it as best I can because it's not going to go up or down in price heavily between now and when I trade it in. However, anybody who, and this is a general internet warning, anybody who thinks that Gears of War is all alpha male, bro, douchebag, good on, bruh, should play Inversion and shut the fuck up. Because I've never seen a game that's so fucking broy in my life as Inversion.
Do they actually buttfuck?
No, they might have bloody well. But Jesus Christ, it's about it's about a guy who was looking for his daughter, who's been taken by the enemy of the game, and his cop buddy. And they're basically, I think they're policemen, like just standard beat cops, who get these upgraded, like these arm things that control the flow of gravity and stuff. Why they do is fucking beyond me because I can't remember. Either it doesn't tell you, or the story is so fucking unremarkable that I don't remember, having played it through nearly to the end. Yeah. And it was just so fucking fiddly and annoying by the end that I just gave up. And I really wish, like, I hadn't gone so far into the game as to.
Yeah, I mean, it's only because I was like. I think it was a slow. Yeah, the reason I did Doki Yugi is because there was a slow pace. There was no games coming out. Well, I couldn't afford a game.
Right.
And I'd beaten all the other PlayStation Plus games because I think it might have been Strider and Doki Yugi. Probably the two.
Sounds
games.
about right, actually. Yeah.
And Strider was brilliant. And
by contrast, that was not.
Yeah. Well,
I played one.
By any
day.
contrast, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
I played one the other day on Xbox One, which was all right. It was pretty cool, but I just gave up with it really quickly because I got bored. Was Strike Suit Zero.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've not played it.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I played like Darkstar 1, if you ever played Darkstar 1, or anything like it. Like a sort of space combat game.
Yeah, I played a few. Like,
it was pretty fun, but fiddly and annoying, and I got bored with it. Similar to, in terms of getting bored, I started playing The Saboteur the other week on PS3.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
I know people that love that game, but at the same time, it just never grabbed me, that one.
It's good.
I liked it, but it's never... I think I actually reviewed it, actually.
Maybe.
For E14 in the early days. But it was... Yeah, it was fun for what it was, but I could think of about 2,000 open world games that were better.
Wow. 2,000, you say?
Well, not necessarily 2,000, but...
a lot. You can think of a few.
Yeah.
And I would say that's probably fair. Like, I thought it was fun for what it was. It got a little fiddly at times. I'm a very big proponent for tight control systems, and if games are fiddly and annoying, I get bored of them very quickly, and it turns me off much quicker than if they were just.
I don't know why I put the game down because I never finished it, but it was.
They can be tight, like controls can be tight, and the game can be shit. But if a game's fiddly and annoying, even if it's good, I'll lose interest very quickly.
Normally that sounds like something's broken if the controls are shit.
It's just not as well designed as it could be, I guess. Maybe not broken as such. But
I remember it being alright, but I must admit I played quite a bit of it, obviously, to do the review, but then I didn't.
Yeah, I'd say
I put it down.
If you went for a 10-point scale, if I was to persevere with it and it stayed the same as I'd played it, it's probably a 6 or a 7.
Yeah,
it's good, but it's not.
Speaking of games I reviewed and only actually went back again and actually finished, because I actually played a lot of it, but didn't finish it. The first Castlevania Lords of Shadow.
That was a good game.
I did like it. If I one gripe, it bangs on a bit.
Yeah.
It's like I could there's no. I mean, I would if I would whinge about the Ninja Theory Devil May Cry game.
Yeah.
Reboot.
I haven't played that.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's not my favourite Devil May Cry game, but it is very, very good.
Yeah.
But I completed it very quickly. It wasn't
same developer as Enslaved.
Yes. Yeah. And Heavenly Sword, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Metroid Other M, I think, as well.
Yeah. And they're doing that new one, Hellblade, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But that's obviously early days yet.
Yes.
But that was, I liked that, but it was short. But I would happily play it again.
Yeah.
Castlevania, I liked. I thought it was very good, and I thought the plot was good, and I played it all the way through and finished it. But because it was quite a long game and there was so much to do in it, by the end I was like, I think I'm good. I don't think I felt the need to play or redo like all the challenge areas that they were saying about, or revisit areas to get all the bits.
Yeah, I found that.
I think
now.
I have my full.
I find that now with the Lego games. It's like the first few ones I 100%ed.
Yeah.
And now I've got to the point where I finished the story and I'm done. Like Lego Lord of the Rings, I was done as soon as I finished.
I that's thinking about to play.
Basically, as soon as I could put it on my list, I was done.
Yeah, I don't think apart from Indiana Jones and the complete saga of Star Wars, with the first two games together, I've never 100%ed any of them. I've not actually even finished the storyline on some of them. I didn't even finish Batman, the first Batman, or
I finished the first Batman story. I didn't 100% it.
I think I played the first two level, big collection of levels. So I didn't do the last one.
Okay.
But I did some of the bad guy levels because you can go in and do some of the bad guy stuff as well, can't you? I did some of that, and then that was it. Never went back to it. I did Indiana Jones. I did Star Wars. I played some of Harry Potter. Didn't finish it.
I 100%ed both. No, 100%ed the first one. That second one I didn't 100% because there's a really fiddly achievement that you can only get if you play it through.
Broken, I think you don't do.
No, not broken as such, but there's a particular thing you have to do, and if you don't do it on episodes on.
Oh, at that one point.
At that one point in the story level, you can't go back and do it in free play.
Yeah.
So you have to start the game again, because even if you try and do the story level again, it won't take you to that bit because it's a transitional bit.
Oh. Okay.
So you have to play it through a second time to get that, and if you don't do it the first time, so that's fucking annoying. Yeah. So apart from that, 100% did Lego Harry Potter 1 and 2. But
yeah. I played some of the first one, but I didn't finish it.
100% did Pirates, because I loved Pirates.
Yeah. I didn't actually finish the first film of Harry Potter, actually.
First film of Part 7?
No, of...
Philosopher's Stone?
1 to 4.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, no, I killed the troll.
Oh, sorry, you mean in the game?
Yeah, in the game.
I thought you hadn't seen it. I was like, okay.
Oh, no, I've seen all the films. Yeah. No, I meant in the game.
Oh, I see.
I didn't even finish Philosopher's Stone, the film, like out of all the film. Pirates, I got about halfway through the second film and went...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of a game I really...
did like the alligator bit in the second film and
yeah.
That was it, yeah. Yeah, no, Lego games... I play them with Kat, but I don't know real need, and it has to be she's in the mood as well, but... Yeah, a lot of the time she's playing Minecraft or Sims, so it's just not going that way with Lego games lately.
Just fair enough.
Hence why I'm not bothered with Marvel superheroes.
I really like the console Minecraft. I don't have it on PC, but that's because when I have too much choice and too much variety, I find it overwhelming. I like something that's a little bit more control.
That's fine. Console Minecraft I do have. I have the PS4 version, and I did have it on PS3 as well. And I probably will get it on Vita as well, because I think it's a good thing to play on the go, actually. But, my gripe with that, I prefer the PC version, not because there's too much on the PC version, but it has more support, because they constantly update it and they add new things for...
Yeah.
And to play the PC version with all the bits it's added, because they've got rabbits and horses, and I know horses have recently been announced they're coming to the console version soon, there's an update. But because of all that ongoing support for the PC version, to play, then go and play the console versions, it feels restricted, if you know what I mean. But it's not bad. No, as ports go, they're very strong. And also they have a decent...
Look forward to that to change. Obviously the console versions will come more in step, I'd like to think.
Well, hopefully after $2 billion, yeah.
With recent announcements, I suspect that the console versions will fall more in step with the PC version.
Hopefully,
yeah. That'd be good.
That might be why the horses are coming, I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. So
maybe
it's a developer bonus thing. It's like, hey, we just gave you $2 billion. How about some fucking horses?
But, because they said the Vita's coming out next week, I think, which will obviously be out.
It's in Sony certification.
From where we're doing at the moment, it will be out next week, I think.
Fair enough.
They announced. And, and I think the update for horses is shortly after that, I think they said, after the Vita release.
Look out for horses coming soon to Minecraft.
Yeah.
Ow. Sorry.
And then horse armour.
Maybe they might do that as a cheeky bit of DLC.
Yeah.
A free one.
Another thing, and I suppose if I had one gripe, is obviously you've got to pay if you want the extra texture packs. Not that they're things that ever bothered me.
Not all of them were paid though, some of them are free.
Are they? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
at least some of the ones on... There's a few on Xbox that are like, oh, hey, you don't have to pay for this one.
Yeah, there's some skins that are free on the PS4 one, and I don't know about texture packs. It's not something I really looked into, but looking at them, it looked like the ones that you had to buy from the store, from what I could see.
My thing is like... Generally, I've got so much stuff to do on the Xbox, I'm not thinking about cosmetic stuff. Same with, when they did the big piles of weapon skins for Gears 3 multiplayer. Generally, if it was not something that was free or you could get in the game, I wasn't interested. Not because I'm not against the concept of paying for cosmetic stuff if you want it. I'm fine with the option being there, but it's just that if I've got enough to keep me busy, I don't think about what else I could be adding to it aesthetically. Yeah. It's purely about if there's a new level for Gears 3 that's like a new story mission, like the Ram Shadow or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That I'll pick up because I'll actually get to play that and play through it. If it's just like, hey, now your weapons are yellow, it's like, who cares? I'm not.
I mean, even though I bought the special edition, it was like a couple of quid more and had a couple of bits of DLC, but it was like small things like runes and that you get for Shadow of Mordor that you normally get. That was there was like one of the bits of DLC that came with the game was that you could have him with a cloak on, and I was like,
is this Shadow of Mordor?
Sorry, for Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor. And
I think I got that DLC as well.
And I was just like,
did you pre-order the one that came from anonymous internet retailer that was like embossed steelbook?
Yes, that's the one I've got.
Yeah, I've got that too. Yeah. It's pretty awesome, right?
It's quite a nice steelbook, actually.
I didn't know it was a steelbook. I thought it was just like a box with a kind of...
Yeah, it's a shame I've completely 100%ed the game.
Yeah.
That will go in my top games of this year.
I'm sure when I get to it, it'll go in mine as well.
Yeah, but not to the extent that I would say it's my absolute top. It's hard to say what my absolute top is this year.
It's tough, isn't it?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's not like as clear cut. There's nothing that's truly blown me out the water.
Like I say, Wolf Among Us for me was phenomenal.
Yeah, not played that one admittedly.
No, it's so good that I've never read Fables in my life, and now I bought the first 2 trades already purely on the strength of it.
That's what I love those games to do, is if it gets you into something. That's good. This is why I hope that people who play The Walking Dead games go, oh, that's awesome, I think I'll pick up the comics.
Yeah, and I mean also...
Yeah, I bought it on the strength that I love the comics.
Yeah.
So,
and I know obviously you're not a fan of it, but at the same time, if that gets them into the TV show instead or as well, that's also great.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
If it gets you into if it gets you immersed in the universe, then brilliant.
Yeah, and that's fine, you know.
Yeah. Wolf Among Us is a big one for me for this year. Gunpoint was really cool. Yeah. In terms of stuff I've played but not finished, I played a fair bit of Shadowrun Returns, which I really like.
Yeah, well, I really liked that up until the point I saved myself dead. But,
fair enough, yeah. That's
I think I told you a bit about it, but yeah, that was basically my own fault.
Yeah, so not the game's fault, Blake, is it?
Yeah, no, it's my fault. It was telling me to buy people to take with me, and I didn't.
Yeah, I played Game Dev Tycoon, which I got gifted to me for my birthday, which was, again, it's fun while it lasted. It was pretty short. You can go back and do it again. I'm probably not going to, but at the same time, while I played it, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
What else? I've got the early access of Project Zomboid, which
I tried a demo that I didn't get into it.
The demo is weird because it doesn't really
tell you what to do.
So in the game, you also don't really get that, but it is
fun. I found
it
too well. Maybe if I got the hang of it, but I found it too fiddly.
Once you get into it. Especially if you start the game off and you set the days to take a long time to complete, like every day is like 30 minutes or something. That's enough time to kind of get the feel of the controls and stuff. What I like, for instance, what I'll do a lot is not realizing, for example, that I cut myself and I was like, I'm going to rip apart this top to make bandages, which is nifty.
Actually, now you said that, again, I need to go back and finish off State of Decay.
Oh, I have that on my Steam account. I haven't had a chance to
Yeah, I've been playing it on Steam.
I loved it on Xbox.
I think I need to get it on a pad, because I think the keyboard's just a little bit
I played the trial on Xbox and I thought it was brilliant. But I found that Steam, the price just dropped so good that I was like, I can't not.
Yeah, no, I need to. I've been playing it on keyboard, and whilst I can get by, I think it's that little bit too fiddly on the keyboard to truly enjoy.
But yeah, going back to Project Zomboid, so I was walking around. I broke a window to try and because I couldn't open the door in the house, and I jumped in through the window and I cut myself on the way in.
Okay.
And it was like, you've cut yourself, you're bleeding. I was like, oh shit. And I've got a top in my inventory and it says rip to make bandages. I was like, oh, cool, I'll do that. Rip it apart, not realising it's the top I'm wearing. just walking around with my bra, like just my bra under. Zombie apocalypse, just whapping my baps out. But at the same time, like it's really cool. There's just so far, I've only played it for a couple of hours, but so far there's just the right amount of interactive stuff you can do without it being too overwhelming.
No, it looked potentially good, but it was just because I didn't know what I was doing. It was really fiddly.
Yeah, it is.
It turned me off it. And I think they made probably a better tutorial or a better game.
But I will say, beating a zombie to death with a spoon is significantly enjoyable.
Yeah, I felt like I killed a couple of zombies, but then because it didn't really tell me what I meant to do or where I meant to go or how I meant to survive, and
that's it. You don't know. You just have to do it for yourself.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay. But I think it's just a little bit more signposting in the demo might have got me into that one.
Same with Prison Architect.
I think that's the problem with a lot of these early access games is they just don't design the tutorials well enough.
No, like if you played Goddess, the Peter Molyneux.
I've got it. I haven't actually played it.
I played about 20 minutes, which is enough to sort of that would be enough to go through the tutorial.
No, it looks good. It looks good.
It's fun enough, but again, it's one of those things where I don't really know what I'm doing and why things are happening.
No, just sort of.
Whereas by contrast, Banished, the Steam game, which is like a little sort of, you know...
Yeah, I know. It looks good. Looks alright, but...
has a brilliant tutorial mode.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that... I don't know if that's... I think that's full release rather than early access. I'm not sure. But...
no, I think it is early
access. It does a brilliant job with tutorials.
I mean, it is early access.
It takes you through everything you need to play the game and understand it. And even with, like, half the tutorials not completed, I can still play the game and get my head around it all.
Yeah.
The winters are tough, because we run out of food, but that's because, you know, maybe my village...
maybe you should farm better.
Maybe I should farm better. Maybe my village should be weeding out the faddies.
Yeah.
Winter is coming, kids. Lay off the Kit Kats.
Oh, that's dark.
John, be more dog. So anyway, we'll probably wrap it there because we've talked for a fair
a couple of more honourable mentions just to games I played that happened to be just very quickly that I played, liked, that wasn't missed here, but wasn't really big games and weren't really part of this year. Mark of the Ninja on
you just reckon I'm going to have to track that down because you just recommended
it was a good 2D stealth game. It was one I actually did start playing it last year and actually didn't finish until this year because I think I went away from it and came back, but it is highly recommended if you like your stealth games.
Cool.
Hotline Miami was a game I finished this year. Loved it to bits.
It's on my Steam list, it's not been done.
Yeah. And Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag because it was a step back in the right direction from Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, I've not heard great things about 3.
It's not a terrible game, but it's just not
what you were hoping for.
No, I think it did suffer with a bit of overhype, obviously, because it was saying it was going to do all this stuff that was much better than the older games and that. And it ended up just being, all the stuff that they did do was just dull or irrelevant. There were some bits you could do. Like there was like a look after your homestead bit, which the idea was to get more money, but that money, you
get it anyway.
You get from other means or from doing other things. You don't need it to progress in the game or to level up or anything. Okay. So
I see. My entire experience of Assassin's Creed is I did a brief run through of Brotherhood for review, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed 1. Went back to it recently, and fuck me, that game is dull.
Oh yeah, repetitive as hell.
Yeah. I'm hoping. I've heard better things about. Obviously, I'm going to do 2 is next on my list. Brotherhood is to finish. Revelations I have. 3 I have through Plus. The only thing I'm missing from the entire set is Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah,
which I'll pick up.
I loved Assassin's Creed 4 because it was big open world to play in, lots to do and see, and also the stuff you're doing is for your own benefit. Like there are treasure chests with blueprints for better guns for your ship and stuff like that.
Okay.
And also, if you want better satchels for more knives to throw or something like that, you do. It's like Far Cry where you're hunting animals.
Oh, okay, cool.
So the stuff you get off the animals is to level up your gear, basically. Yeah. So you're doing it for a reason rather than because here you are, hunt this elk.
Yeah, but Far Cry 3 did also have the you hunt this many sharks and you can upgrade your wallet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like shark skin wallet, you have to kill.
Oh yeah, and it was like that, and it even gets to the point where it gets to like stupidly rare animals to get the ultimate thing. But
kill the narwhal.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reddit.
But no, there is there is, and although I never actually did it because it either got away or it killed me every time there was the white whale, like a Moby Dick thing that Clyde goes around, and that is really hard to kill. But I think that's more for bragging rights.
The book gave me the impression he's pretty hard to kill.
Yeah, he's a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
But
is that how they word it in the Melville? I've not read it.
Yeah,
I got as far as Call Me Ishmael.
Yeah, she blows. What a cunt.
The blue one.
Yeah.
So
sorry, we'll call it there.
Let me think. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any more for me to end on.
I can think of middling ones, but nothing.
I'll bet you anything. I'll go back and look at my list at home, and I'll just be like, "Oh fucking hell, that one and all."
Yeah, I mean, there was games that I thought were all, Infamous Second Son was great fun to play. Felt really overpowered. It's good fun game, and the powers in it are really lovely, but it's just very short.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Sony games, I've just started Uncharted 2 for the first time.
Oh, fantastic game.
So far, it's a little slow to get going, but I think once it gets going,
when it gets going,
good.
yeah.
I was also, on the subject of games I quite liked, I also didn't finish it yet, but I was also playing the most recent Thief, and that was pretty good.
I played the demo of that, I just didn't get on with it.
Has moments.
It might just be because I never played the original Thieves games, admittedly, but I played it and climbing up things just felt fiddly. It felt that the walls didn't seem to know. You had to climb up specific walls to get around. It felt for something that should be more open world than it is. It felt like it was still, trying to make it too linear. And and also because of a certain other game that came out a year before,
Dishonored.
it completely blows that game out of the water.
Shits on most things.
Yeah,
Dishonored is one of my. You can reach.
Even though I'm not a huge fan of overall of stealth games, and that Dishonored is still fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and one of the best games of the last couple of years. Yeah, so because of Dishonored and other games I could think of that were similar.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't think I'll bother picking it up. I've seen it's come down in price. And
I paid 20 quid for it, and I think that's a fair price.
Yeah, that probably is alright. I mean,
I have this concept in my head, this theory of magic price or punt price.
Yeah.
Which is, say, when something I'm interested in hits a certain price, I'll take a punt on it.
Yeah.
And Thief, for that one, I'd see it in the shop at 40 quid. I was like, no. And I'd come back a couple of months later, it was £28. I'm like, close, warmer.
How I felt about Colonial Marines when that came out.
Yeah, pretty much. I paid £2.74 for mine, I think.
I paid about a quid more. I paid £3.74 on the Steam sale.
And that was fair.
And if I paid more than a fiver for that game, I'd have been really pissed off.
Exactly.
But
in fact, it was £3 I paid for my copy.
Yeah,
and I finished it, and I thought it was certainly not deserving of a lot of the hate it got.
No, I thought it was okay, but then again, I think a lot of the hate came from the people that paid 40 quid for it, and I think I would sort of
understand it more then.
Yeah. If I paid a fiver for it, I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I paid £3.74 because I got enough. I definitely got £3.74 worth of enjoyment out of it.
Some things it did really well, like the sound effects were spot on, the music was really cool.
I even liked some of the levels. Some elements of the game were alright. But
it just sounded awesome.
Yeah, there was just some glitchy bits in it, and the plot was a bit crap. But
the plot was atrocious,
and the final boss was awful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trying to remember it. I remember that.
Yeah, it was shooting the Queen out of the airlock, but it was such a simple end mission.
You just had to stay out of her way, basically.
Yeah, basically, I just went round the back of her, went there, and then just blew out. Yeah, well, people either played it or they're not going to in the way I see it now. But
what else is there? I think that's it, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
And like I say, I'm sure there'll be a thing. And again, I'll do this thing here now. If I've missed something massive, I'll write something about it.
Yeah, and I felt like this episode and the last episode when we last recorded I feel I've been overly critical of this year.
Okay.
It just feels a lot quieter for games this year.
I think it's because usually around this time of year we're being bombarded with new stuff, and this year it hasn't happened because of delays, and also because last year was such a big deal with all the new consoles being out as well.
And also I feel with modern day, there's probably a conversation for another time, which I think with that is an overabundance of re-releases.
Okay.
Because take like The Last of Us remastered.
Yeah.
Okay, they're doing the little extra bits to warrant Master Chief Collection, but I feel it should be bundled in the same bag as Last of Us. And obviously they've recently released Sleeping Dogs again.
So let's do another cast.
Yeah,
which is
I'm just saying, it feels like there's a lot of the same old shit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's probably worth exploring on a future game.
I think that deserves its own
just
podcast,
about
really.
HD remakes, which ones do it well, which ones don't, maybe.
Yeah. I think it's justified in some areas, but yeah.
Alright, cool, so look forward to that then. So if you've enjoyed the Gamecast, you can find the previous episodes on iTunes as well as on our podcast feed, which you can find along with our sister podcast, The Crazy Train, at emotionally14.com. That's emotionally 14 digits, not letters. Just for 14, by the way, not emotionally.
Yeah. Well, it is emotionally in digits.
Well, there'll be zeros and ones in there somewhere. Yeah. And threes. Threes would factor. You can find us on Twitter at emotionally14. You find us on Facebook, facebook.com/emotionally14. You find us on YouTube. Not doing much with it at the moment, but I'm hoping to change that in the near future. You can find me on Twitter at RobWadeVision. Blake doesn't have Twitter, but we can get him more involved with the E14 Facebook page and Twitter and stuff if you want to engage with him in that way.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can find written stuff that we do at emotionally14.com as well. Not been so heavy on that recently, but there's still there's 5 years worth of backlog to go through if you're interested.
Yeah.
Plenty of stuff to keep you busy. There's also, I'll pimp this, there's one page that's really good called E14 Features, which is just a selection of all the recurring segments in E14 history, and there's some fucking great stuff in there. It's really worth, if you're interested in gaming content, there's a game review section. You can get an idea of mine, primarily mine.
Yeah, there's some articles specifically on top of games.
Yeah, me and Blake specifically did a lot of the reviews on the E14 version 1.
So you can see our feelings about some of the older games.
And you get a good feel for what kind of stuff we like and don't like, and you can kind of gravitate towards...
Yeah.
You know,
also,
one of us or neither of us, or both of us. If you think that you want to comment on Gamecasts or you want to ask questions of the Gamecast cast, too many casts. Cast.
Any questions you have about video gaming or whatever, obviously we know we do questions with the Crazy Train.
Yep.
But if you have any questions specifically relating to gaming or to us about video games that we can answer on this podcast, then obviously send your emails in. Yeah,
you can reach us on the Facebook page. There's an email address on the website. You can reach us through the comment section at the bottom of each article. Feel free to engage with us as much as you want. We welcome any constructive criticism about the ways we can make the show better for people who listen, and also we welcome ways to get engaged in conversation. So hell, if you want to be involved in the show in any respect, or even for the site, there are ways to submit content through there as well. Have at it.
Or even if you disagree with some of our views, and it's nice to hear some conflicting opinions.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we need to do that sometime. I feel like there's mileage in a podcast where one of us loves something and one of us hates something. We just debate it.
It's just called "Fuck You, Blake" or whatever.
Shut up, Wade.
Shut up, Wade. The series.
Yeah. So that's been the Gamecast. Shut up, Wade.